people, I'm Prila and I share with you about motherhood, life abroad, and much more in this channel. Today I want to share with you my experience with breastfeeding since my pregnancy until now that my baby is 2 months old. Let's go! Starting with the pregnancy. I hear lots of people sharing that during the pregnancy they had some leakage here, there, but I didn't have. I must confess that I was a bit worried about it because I thought there was something wrong with me. But at the end of the day, there wasn't. And even my doctor told me it was normal. Sometimes the milk come only when you have the baby. So before, during the pregnancy, even at the end of my pregnancy, I didn't see anything coming out from my breasts. But then we have the birth. When I had my baby, they put me with him right away and he was like sucking on my breast and they said, I can see it's shiny. And even my husband said that he saw as well. I was looking and I wasn't seeing anything. So they said that they were seeing the colostrum and the baby was like kind of gaining weight. So somehow it was there. But again, even like expressing it, I couldn't see it coming out by myself. But yeah, they say that we all pregnant women, when we give birth, we have it. So apparently I had it as well. And let's talk about my first week. During the first week, I was not only worried about like having this milk or not, but as it's normal, my baby didn't gain that much weight. He lost a little bit and I was so worried. So my doctor, she said, every other time you breastfeed, you pump it. So one time I pump it, always offering the breast first if your choice is to breastfeed, right? So offering my breast, and after, during the breast, giving the breast, I would pump it for, let's say, 10 minutes. I will talk about the pumper later on, but like, long story short, I pumped like both breasts at the same time. And next time I was going to breastfeed, I just breastfed, no pumping. And the third time I would breastfeed and use the pump later on, just to stimulate the milk to come. And I must tell you that it did stimulate. So little by little, I saw my milk coming. Before talking about the milk itself, let's talk about the pain. It is real. The struggle is real. I used 2 creams, one that you can buy at the pharmacy, that's this one, and the second one that my doctor prescribed to me because the situation around here was bad, guys. I even saw a piece of my breast, my nipple, coming out like ping, and I was like, is it normal? Yeah, it was bleeding. It was like, I was burned, the feeling and the texture as well. So things weren't good. But God was good helping me because it was something I wanted, right? So I tried to insist on it. And I had also the visit of one of the nurses from the government of Canada. She came here at our home and she gave us some tips here and there. For example, to hold the breast while the baby was sucking, to keep him in a straight position. There are many different positions you can breastfeed your baby, right? They say the baseball one, or they say like the straight one. So I chose this one and I stick with it for like basically nowadays. Of course, I can feed him in other positions now that I'm more comfortable, but in the beginning, I chose the straight one, like putting baby's head around here and just breastfeeding. So I made sure that he was straight, and I was usually using this pillow here that became my friend. You see, it's in an L shape. So it helped me and still helps me to give support, right? So I use it like this. First weeks, it is about consistency if it's what you really want to breastfeed. And how I breastfed, meaning about sides. So I spent on the first month going 15 minutes one side and forcing him to go 15 minutes on the other side. So every time I was going both sides, and every time I breastfed on the first month, My technique was breastfeeding for 30 minutes and then putting him up for burp and going with the flow. One tip I want to give to you is the timeline. So we have to change the baby. We have to feed the baby, right? We have to put him to sleep. So first I would change him, because if I did it before breastfeeding him, the chance of spitting up, it was low, right, baby? Yes, he's agreeing with me. He wants to participate. So if you breastfeed first and then you change the baby later on, the probability of him or her spitting up, it's higher. So my tip for you, do the changing first, even though it causes you a little bit of crying, you know, from the baby, but in my opinion, it's better. So I did this way, one side, another side, every time I breastfed both breasts for 15 minutes. Like I counted, you know, I have apps, and then I use it. Actually, I use only one app for breastfeeding, and I counted, like, time it 15 minutes in one side and 15 minutes in another side. When he turned 1 month old, my strategy changed, and this was like agreed with the nurse that was visiting us and with my family doctor, that is his pediatrician. And the strategy now is offering him one breast, let's say the left, and waiting for him to be satisfied on the left, and that's it. Burping and continuing the day. Next time that he wants to eat, I would offer the right, and then wait for him to be satisfied, and next time left, and be changing like this, remembering left and right, and it has been working so far. So now let's talk about my milk evolution. So first week I just had the colostrum and I collected like 2 drops, let's say. With time, with weeks, I had the milk supply came in, and guys, I must tell you that it came in. So I was like, now from the part that I was wanting to do the pumping every other day, to stop doing it, otherwise I would be hyper stimulated and it would cause me problems, right? It didn't get to that part of causing problems, but on my second appointment I spoke to the doctor and she said, you can stop and you can do when you feel that you need to do the pumping. Here is a bit of my pumping evolution and my milk evolution as well. And I must tell you that this tea kind of helped me. You can find on my Amazon everywhere. Probably not with the same word or brand, but with the same substance. And as we spoke about the milk evolution, let's talk about the pain evolution. But before, let me show you this cover up here. I'll leave the link on the description so you can buy if you want to. So they have in different themes. Of course, we chose the space one because of the theme we are going with Tobias' bedroom. So basically, you put it on like this. You can use on the car seat or different parts. So you put yourself in, and then you get the baby, and you can breastfeed like in public, covering yourself up. So this is a good thing for you to have. And let's go to the pain evolution now. First weeks, super painful. I even cried because it was like intense. When the milk was coming down, some people, they say that they have even fever. I didn't have anything like that, but the pain was still very strong. But again, I was determined to do it. So with all my strengths, and I even wrote in front of me, in front of the chair that I usually breastfeed, the Bible verse that says, I shall not want. Psalms 23 verse 1. And in this psalm it says, I shall not want it, you know, which means everything. So I was thinking and mentalizing, like, my milk will come, please God help me. And I think having this mental power helped me. And yes, first week it was awful, the pain, second week as well, third week, but when I completed a month, I remember that I was feeling like much better. And also the milk supply was like kind of balanced. So now I was like, I'm okay, you know, even with the pain. And I'm talking about breastfeeding and breast milk in general, but I must tell you that since the beginning, I was pretty comfortable with the idea that if it didn't happen to me, I would go with formula. So I wasn't like, I just want breast milk. And of course, in my opinion, for me, it makes sense to be the mainly and majority part of his feed. But if it didn't happen, again, I would be comfortable with that. So I had formula on my fridge. Bless you. I had formula just in case. You know, I had bottles and I'm still using the bottles because I take it out, of course, the milk, and my husband or someone else can feed him my frozen breast milk. So we are going, yes, with breast milk, but I was like, okay with the idea if it didn't happen, because sometimes we're very strong with one opinion, and when we have to change it, it may be difficult, right? So I was open-minded, and I recommend you to be open-minded as well. If you want to breastfeed your baby with milk, with breast milk, you can try and do your best. Know that the path will be super hard, but it is possible, you know. And searching for help as well, friends, family, doctors, nurse, whoever you have around you. Nowadays we have lots of resource, right, on the internet as well. Just be careful the source you go to, because you may find things that are like scary or not helpful at all. But we have like consultants for this, right? People that are specialized on helping moms like you and me with this subject. So we should search for help if this is what we really want to breastfeed our babies. Storage. How do I store the milk? I will show you. Here's how I store it. After pumping it, I put in this container inside of those plastic bags that are made for breast milk. I labeled them, putting if it was AM or PM time, the amount, and I put the oldest ones first and the most recently on the back. It's important to put in the fridge, and this is how I do the stuff. So I use the bottles, I sterilize it using that machine. I have here the pump, utensils, and to store you can follow this instruction. Now let's go to the pump itself. So this is the pumper I use. It's an old one, but it works pretty well. It was a super gift from my friend Thaisa. She gave me so much. She had a baby 5 months, I think, before I had. So she was very generous, and she donated and she passed to me many of her stuff. And this was one of the gifts. In the beginning, I was kind of not sure how to use it first. And second, I was like not feeling comfortable because you have to be plugged on the plug to use it. But at the end of the day, seriously, I wouldn't change for one portable, at least not now. I adored having this experience with this pump. So this is a recommendation. Again, it's an old one. I don't know if you can find it easily. Maybe you adapt with other ones. There are brands that are very on hype right now, and they are hands-free, right? And yeah, maybe you have to go with what you feel comfortable. But for me, it was a gift from God, and it was amazing, just amazing, this pump. And again, I just do it here and there because now I have lots in storage, as you could see, and I don't feel the need to pump it very often. And to conclude this video, I must tell you that I am still breastfeeding this guy here. And I'm doing it pretty much on demand until he turns 3 months old. This is the plan. If it changes, I'll let you know. But as I'm at home with him, every time he wants, every time he needs, I'm here, and we can, yeah, do this process of he eating, me feeding him with my body. And I feel blessed for having this experience, and I feel very grateful for not giving up, and I feel proud of myself as well because I went through it. You know, I saw many reasons for giving up throughout the process, and I didn't. So I was like, yay! And we are doing it. High five to us, baby. Woo! High five to us because we are doing. He was a champ as well. He was like going with me, and now he is a big guy. Everyone asks if he has like only breast milk, and I say yes, only breast milk because he's big, he's healthy. Thank you, Jesus. And this is our breastfeeding story. Let me know in the comments what you thought about it all. Thanks for watching, and see you on my next video. Bye.